Project Russia, an awesome map mod that puts you directly in the heart of Russia. But even with the mod installed, it doesn't feel like Russia. So that's why I installed the cryogenic winter mod to add a permanent snowstorm to the game. And today, I'm going to be surviving 7 days in a winter storm in Russia. I spawned inside a storage container in the middle of the Russian city. Now, it wasn't exactly a great spawn because there wasn't any warm clothes nearby that I could wear. Everything was going really smooth until this happened. I had just tripped the alarm within 5 minutes of playing on this map. I immediately started to run to another storage container to wait out the alarm. After finding a storage container, I waited until the alarm turned off, but I could hear the dead outside banging on the door. I don't even really want to know how many zombies there are out there. I finally summed up the courage to open up the door, and there wasn't even as many zombies as I thought there were. I looted the dead bodies, and I got a backpack and even some warmer clothes. But the noise I made attracted more zombies to my location, so I quickly had to flee. I then hopped over a fence to get to this building, but my luck continues to amaze me. No way. I quickly ran to a nearby apartment building, and luckily for me, the door was unlocked. I then waited there until the alarm turned off, and then hopped out the window. There were still a few zombies waiting outside, so I quickly ran to a nearby fence and hopped over it. I was starting to get pretty cold, so I ran to a nearby apartment building to take cover. While I was in the apartment, I found an umbrella, which I could use as a temporary weapon. Then I left the apartment and dealt with some zombies that were waiting outside. After that, I went to the apartment next door so I could try and find some warmer clothes. Finding warm clothes is going to be the key to survival. Once I found some slightly warmer clothes, I headed out of the apartment in search of a car. I found some cars nearby and began checking to see if they had any gas. After a little bit of searching, I finally found a truck with some gas in it. Once I hotwired the truck, I made sure to turn the heat on so I wouldn't get any colder. But after a bit of driving, I ran into a small problem. For some reason, even though I turned the heat on in the car, it was still like negative 42 degrees. Even though the truck was taking forever to heat up, I knew that I had to keep driving so I could find a safe area so that I could get out of the car. The snow was making it really hard for me to see what was in front of me, and I kept hitting things, so I didn't know how much longer the engine was going to last for. I kept looking for a less urban area until I found some fenced off houses. I didn't have that much gas left, so I made up a plan just to hop out of the car super quickly and then hop over the fence. So, after almost dying, I finally reached the walled off house and it looked pretty safe. Luckily the door was unlocked, so I didn't have to worry about another alarm going off. I grabbed some food and drinks from the house before making my way on to the next house to loot. The door for this house though was locked, and I had to pray that I didn't accidentally trip the alarm because of my recent luck with the last couple of houses. Luckily, I did not trip off the alarm when I went through the window. When I got inside the house, I went to the kitchen and grabbed some food. After I ate, I started getting tired, so I went to sleep, ending day 1. I woke up on day 2 and I left my house so I could search for more houses that might have good loot in them. Alright, yeah, no, that's way too many zombies. I don't feel like dying. I started looting nearby houses for food and more warm clothes. I then finally found a hammer which I could use as a weapon in replacement for my umbrella. Let's see what's in this house. I'm just gonna leave. I took out a couple zombies that were on the streets, but I quickly got overwhelmed, so I decided just to hop over a fence to get to safety. I had to make sure to be careful with how many zombies I took on at once because the colder I got, the slower I swung. I was exhausted and out of breath, so I decided to find a nice warm house to rest while I ate some food. After I was done resting, I realized that I desperately needed a car because walking from place to place was making me really cold, and I did not want to get sick. I found a gated off building and I decided to go check it out to see if there's any good loot. I didn't really find anything except for some warmer clothes. After that, I started my search for a car, but my search had to take a pause because I got tired, so I ran to a house and took a quick nap. It wasn't that windy, so I knew it would be a perfect day to search for a car. After I stepped outside my house, I looked outside and realized there were 2 zombies, so I had to kill them real quick. Huh, this zombie is a military armor on. It's pretty cool. After killing a bunch of zombies outside my house and breaking my hammer, I looted some bodies and got a bulletproof vest. I then started walking to this walled off area that looked like it had some good loot in it. But while I was fighting some zombies, my umbrella broke, so I had to run to some nearby building. I sat and rested for a little bit before sneaking out of a building so no zombies would see me. I kept walking in the walled off area hoping to find something useful until I found this. Oh my gosh, bro, that is an insane amount of cars. I had just found a massive parking lot that was full of cars. So I wasted no time and started searching the cars and seeing if any of them worked. Bro, why don't any of these cars have any gas? This is like the 10th car that I've searched and it doesn't have any gas in it. I had searched so many cars and none of them had any gas in it. After checking out all of the cars and finding nothing, I went to go check out the storage containers at the end of the parking lot. But after killing a couple zombies that were in my way, I started to get pretty tired. I need to find somewhere to sleep fast. So I made the decision to run and find a house that I could sleep in. After finding a house, I used my last bit of strength to kill a zombie that was outside the house. And after that, I was finally able to get some sleep. When I woke up on day 3, I left the house and started looting the houses that were nearby. I found a wrench which I could use as a weapon, but as I was about to enter a house, this happened. Bro, what? What? I didn't even open the door. I had just set off another alarm, so I quickly ran back to my house and waited out the alarm. After waiting out the alarm, I decided to continue on looting other houses. Everything was going pretty good until I had this pretty close call. Alright, let's check this house. Oh my shit. What? Alright, I'm just gonna run over here. I don't want to break my wrench or die. Oh my gosh, bro, it's so lucky. I just need to find somewhere to go. It's so cold. I'm just gonna see if this house works. Or store's not really a house. Oh my gosh, bro, fighting all these zombies. I was getting exhausted and cold, and I had to find refuge quickly before I got sick. I had just tripped yet another alarm, so I had to quickly run back to my house before all the zombies started pouring in. I waited out the alarm, and then immediately went back outside to search for more loot. While I was running around outside, I made sure to keep an eye out for any cars that might have gas. But I needed to catch a break because I was getting tired, so I hopped a fence and found a house that I could get a quick rest at. After a quick rest, I left my house and killed a couple zombies that were waiting outside. After killing those zombies, I found something amazing. No way, this car is in actually good condition. That's right, after what seemed like forever, I finally found a car that had gas. But before I hotwired it, I went to sleep to make sure I had enough energy to drive away. It's finally time to hotwire this car and drive somewhere. But for some reason, the car just would not hotwire. Oh my gosh, bro, how long does it take just to hotwire a car? But that wasn't even the least of my concerns. So I hotwired the car and now the engine won't start. But before I could continue trying to hotwire the car, I had to kill some zombies that heard me. Those zombies killed, I could finally resume trying to start my car. But after about 5 minutes of straight trying to start my engine, I finally started working. After hot wiring the car, I made sure to turn the heat on so I didn't freeze to death. I decided to wait inside until my car warmed up, ending day 3. After waiting a little bit for my car to heat up, I left the house and got inside the car. I started driving around until I found this big house that was walled off, so I hopped out of my car and went to explore. Luckily for me, no alarm went off when I broke the window, and I was able to get in the house with no problem. There wasn't really that much loot in the house, except for some food. After looting all the food, I went to the backyard to check out the garage. I was lucky enough to find a hatchet. This was a major upgrade from my knife. After that success, I went back to my car, but I realized that I forgot to turn it off, and it attracted some unwanted attention. Time to go on a driving adventure. I desperately needed a place to sleep, so I took the risk and hopped a random fence to a house, hoping that it would be safe. I then went to open up the window, and you wouldn't believe what happened next. No! Oh my god, bro. This was a problem. I was so tired that I could have passed out right there, and I just tripped an alarm. So I did the only thing that I could have done, and I ran to the house next door hoping that it was unlocked. And I do not know what I would have done if that door was locked. After that insanely traumatizing experience, I was finally able to go to bed. When I woke up, I wasted no time trying to get to my car, but there were some zombies outside of my house that I had to deal with first. I then went to go check on my car, but I was surprised to see that there was a very large amount of zombies surrounding my car. So I began chopping up the horde, hoping to thin it out. It was all going fine until I got overwhelmed, so I had to bail out and take my chances hopping over a random fence. Doing that lured all of the zombies to the other side of the fence. But as I was killing a single zombie, the horde heard me and I decided to stand my ground. That wasn't until my axe broke, and I was forced to hop another fence. I then rested up at a nearby house because I was exhausted. Alright, attempt number 2 at trying to get my car back. My new strategy was to lure the zombies about a block down and then quickly run back to the car before the zombies could catch up. But not all the zombies followed me, so I decided to rest at my house, ending day 4. I went into day 5 with determination to get my car back. But in an attempt to get my car back, I did one of the stupidest things I've done all video. Alright, come on. Why isn't it starting? Start! Oh my god! I'm gonna die. No way. No way. Bro, no way. I spent way too long on this. Come on. Oh my god. I'm dead. Bro. After that incident, I decided just to lure the zombies away from my car. I then quickly hopped some fences to get back to my car. I tried to get my car started again, but I realized that I was getting pretty tired and I wanted to sleep before I started my car. After waking up, I got right back to trying to get my car. There was only a decent amount of zombies around my car, so I decided to hold my ground and fight them off. After killing all those zombies, I was finally able to get my car. And for some reason, my car was still taking forever to start. Please just start, bro. Oh my gosh, this car takes forever to start. After a little bit of trying, I finally got the car to start. So I drove around for a little bit, searching for anything interesting. And after about 15 minutes, I finally found a cool spot. It was like this isolated construction area that had no zombies. So I began searching for anything useful, and I was lucky enough to stumble upon a shovel. I also found myself a crowbar that was in perfect condition. I noticed that I was getting tired, so I went searching around for a place to sleep. I just settled for a chair inside of a nearby building. When I woke up, I checked the building that I was in for anything useful, but I couldn't really find anything. Before I left the area, I checked out this big warehouse, but it was pretty much empty. After exploring everything, I got into my car and left the construction area. And my car, once again, took forever to start, but after a couple attempts, I finally got it to start. I left the construction area and searched for a good place to get some better weapons. That's when I found this walled off area that looked very promising. There were a decent amount of zombies around, so I began to clear it out. After killing all those zombies, I began searching the storage containers looking for some good weapons. I searched every single storage container and there wasn't a single good weapon in any of them. That was a huge waste of time, so I got back into my car and drove away, still in search for better weapons. I continued to drive around for a bit until some more storage containers caught my eye. While searching the storage containers, I finally found something useful, a hand axe. I was also lucky enough to find a hatchet. But all good things come to an end because when I was opening up a window, this happened. No way, dude, what? Oh, bro, just start, please, just start. Oh my god. This car is so stupid, bro, oh my god. After finally getting my car to start, I quickly drove away before any zombies could get me. I noticed that it was starting to get dark out, which meant that I needed to hurry up and find a place to sleep very soon. I took a quick stop at a small restaurant because I needed a bit more food. I was starting to get really tired, even killing 2 zombies was a bit of a challenge. After getting some food, I checked out a nearby car because I desperately needed a new one because of how slow my car has been starting. But the car unfortunately had no gas. After driving around for a bit, I finally found an apartment building that I could sleep at. After a long day, I was finally able to get some sleep, ending day 6. Oh, the final day of this winter hell, bro. After waking up on day 7, I left the apartment building and started driving right away. Since this was my last day, I wanted to drive to the military checkpoint in the city and see if I could get some guns to try and clear out some of the city. After a little bit of driving, I finally found myself at the military checkpoint. There was a lot of zombies there and I didn't feel like getting out and killing all of them, so I just used my car to run them all over. After about 5 minutes, I got out and started looting. I was lucky enough to find some insane armor that would not only protect me from the cold, but also from zombies. I then started to explore some of the buildings, but a lot of them were locked. I kept searching when the unthinkable happened. No, not here, bro. No, oh my god. I had just tripped an alarm in one of the worst places possible. And to make matters worse, my car was not starting. Dude, this is not the place for my car just to break down, bro. With no car and a swarm of zombies after me, I was forced to make my escape on foot. Oh my, bro, what a situation to be on in the last day, bro. I made sure not to run so that I could save my energy. The situation kept getting worse because as I kept walking into the city, more and more zombies kept joining the horde. I need a fence to hop over before I get too tired. After a bit of walking, I finally found a fence that I could jump over. After going to a safe spot over the fence, I was finally able to sit down because I was exhausted. But then I heard something that haunts every Project Zomboid player. Oh my gosh. No way, is that the helicopter vent? After hearing the helicopter, I quickly left the spot I was in because if I stayed for too long, I would be swarmed by zombies. Low on energy, I frantically looked for a spot to hide and wait out the helicopter. Without many options, I took my chances with hopping over a fence because there was a house on the other side. Luckily, the house was clear and I was able to enter it without any problems. After entering the house, I decided to go to sleep before I got too tired. When I woke up, I decided to look around the area that I was in. There wasn't that many zombies in this walled off town, so I felt pretty safe. But for some reason, it took me a little bit to realize that I was being followed by like 4 zombies. I then searched some houses for food, and all of them had plenty of food for me. After that, I went over a wall and found a car, but it had 0 gas. But while I was inspecting the car, I got snuck up on by a couple of zombies. I hopped back over the fence because I noticed that I was getting out of breath. I found a house that was empty and I looted the kitchen for some food. I then realized that I was starting to get tired, so I went up to go to bed for the last time. I then went to bed, ending day 7 and this challenge.